This video has been indirectly sponsored by Teespring. I am happy to announce a new line of Insane Coaster Junkie merch has been released entitled Series 2. This takes the old shirts of 2021 and upgrades them with an old and new design. The front still consists of the old school logo and now an established date below it, while the back contains the new logo from 2022 in updated park travels. Wanna go to Waldameer looking fly or show your inner Yinza mode? Click the link in the description to order yours today. Those who use the promo code Breadfans will receive a 30% discount on your order, which is only good until January 7th. So if you want the best savings for this holiday, order your shirts right now. This is Teespring, where the shirts are better produced than the factory of sadness known as Spider. Now, onto the main salt of this video. Here lies another Waldameer season in the works. The 2022 coaster season was a historic one, all things considered, but most of that was at my home park, Waldameer. From record-breaking rides to endless salt, coaster club events, cleaner arcs, and whatever else that might have been happening over the course of the year, I am thankful for everyone who participated in the riffing, and I can't wait for the 2023 season. But for now, let's reflect and review the rides I rode this season and see what changes were made, both good and bad. Hold on to your Browns and Edinburghs, it's going to be quite the thrill ride. Starting off this trip is something I have to describe as above average riding. Alibaba was actually improved this year compared to my previous rides, and I have a hard time understanding it. Gone are the days of disorienting rides for me and whatever the heck happened, and I still love the view it gives at the top of the ride. It just adds a bonus when, on some of my rides, the ride would pause at the top to take in said view, and that was a highlight for my season, and a great break from my evolving stomach, because trust me, what's down there is something you do not want to know. What used to be mediocre graduated into a solid ride at the park. Not bad, keep it up! New for 2022, I decided to say f*** it and add all the water slides at Waterworld into the ride counts, because cleaners, one thing, but Awesome Twosome was just awesome.
Stop it.
All puns aside, this slide is just a bigger Python plunge at Splash Lagoon and nothing more. Although a pro tip is that riding in the double tube will increase your chances of airtime at the double dip finale. It's a great tube slide, but it has nothing on the rest of the competition. Sure, it's tall and fast and it's pretty good, but you know, with the evolving water park, things are bound to happen. But Awesome Twosome, I love it. I have nothing much to say for Balloon Race here this season. This ride is a weaker teacup ride that pretends to be Spider for good measure. There's a reason why I only got 2 rides on it this season, and I'm alright with that. It's nothing special at this point, and it serves the family ride taste well in this park. But if only a Zamperla Nebulous could fit much better elsewhere in the park. One can dream SMP about that, but Balloon Race as a whole, f*** off. After the addition of the new Tiki Treehouse at Splash Lagoon, this still remains the best treehouse in the Erie area, no matter what happens. I mean, let's break it down even further to compare this. While the red and green mini bowl slides are very unique to the area, the orange slide is a direct ripoff of Riptide Racers. The open red and blue slides are just a bigger Maui Wowie, but you run the risk of getting stuck if you're not careful. Trust me, that's happened to me a lot. Never on Maui Wowie. The tight green and purple slides is way better than the pile known as Typhoon Twister, but adds Black Hole for good measure because cleaners. Oh boy, the times have changed on this slide over the years, and now it's serving as the main body slides at Waterworld. But I have a confession to make. I am on the Canopy Coaster hype train, and now Bermuda Triangle is my favorite water slide in the water park. Yes, Breadfans, even better than Rally Racer and Cannonball. The pure speed on these things are unmatched, especially on the middle slide. The airtime down the Ravine Flyer 2 style drop is the only time I can ride the former freefall and speed slides. Remember those, Breadfans? However, my crazy ass won't have these ranked high for long, because there is something blasting on its way here, and I'll be staring at it right down in line for this slide. This is Cyclone, but way better. That's the best way I can describe this underrated bowl slide. The intensity is right up there, having a great build up and then carrying that speed down the sizable drop and into the bowl. Now, I wish I had more revolutions like Cyclone, as you get 1, maybe 2 if the Waldameer gods are lucky. The drop into the pool is just as violent as before, giving some good laterals and a slight pop of airtime. This is still one of my favorite water slides in the water park, but with the evolving slide lineup becoming more insane by the season, it's fallen off the map just a little. No offense to In Flames. Oh boy! Chaos! Let's talk for a minute. This ride was all over the place this season, and it's a damn shame I missed out on that 50 ride milestone for the season. Thankfully, the mechanical issues were kept to a minimum, but of course, this is Zamperla we're talking about, and it had to break down a few times during the season, most notably during Ravine Flyer Frenzy and Last Rift 2. The ride, however, is better than ever in just its 4th season of operation. I just love the feeling of going upside down almost every day instead of once per season. I call that bragging rights for my home park. I can tell that next year will be even better than the last. Please do not break down, but you're Zamperla. Please fix it. For being over 70 years old now, this coaster is running way better than Blue Streak and Kanye did at the same time. Full offense to Todd Joseph. Comet runs very smooth, and obviously there is some shuffling because it is a wooden coaster for Christ's sake, but it's not too bad. Still gives a little bit of airtime here and there, and now the curse of the PTC trains have moved on from enthusiast to enthusiast, because now it's unforgiving to almost everyone who rides it. Comet was also a big part of the ERT during the Coaster Club events I participated in, with a total of 8 rides over the 2 sessions, 7 of which during the last one, which is a new record in a day for that ride, by the way. Keep it up next year, Comet, and in the words of my Cosmos professor, keep looking up. We'll see you tomorrow. Oh, great, I just ruined my Dodgem car. Thanks a lot. But anyway, in the words of my good friends of Half Pace, to plug, go check out the Half Pace discography because they got some real bangers I featured on the channel, and Dodgers was the first ride to use that new music. And why does a song about Mario Kart make it so damn catchy? Anyway, about the ride itself, the ride was just as good as last season. With more crashes to play with, Corner Fest, and the Larry the Cable Guy driving sequences was the icing on the cake from an otherwise forgettable ride at any other park to one of the best at Waldameer. This is Dodgems at its finest. Now, if I could ride Grand Prix at Kennywood, that would be nice. Alright, I'm going to make it this short right here. Due to cleaners, this attraction did not open to the end of June, and even then, I forgot how badly this river needs renovated. The water is ice cold, and it's unpleasant to look at anymore. Plus, with the rules of only having one entrance and exit being separate, Endless River is a waste of my damn time! Make it an Action River or Corvette into Lake Erie! Chance Ferris wheels are the pinnacle standard of rides I don't ride too often, but when I can make out of it makes up for it. Obviously, Single Rider Jay couldn't do it alone, so that's where you, the Breadfans, came in. Some of my best memories this summer was capturing some of the best views of Waldameer from the top of the ride, especially Ravine Flyer 2 for off-ride footage. It was also great to get views of Waterworld and see a certain water slide just sitting there waiting to die with the Crimson King. No offense to Wasp. Now, if only I could get a night ride on this thing, that would complete the set, because Alex keeps begging me to get a night ride. Flying Springs is now considered the land of 1,000 dances because I said so. It was great getting more rides on this underrated family ride, and our old friend Sam from the 2019 season made a grand return, hyping the crowd out, which in this day and age, I have a massive respect for, and it made my days go a little easier because of the kinetic energy is contagious, trust me. As for the ride itself, the views of Lake Erie are some of the best, and gliding over the train tracks in prime time is the uber minus human experience, but the music is just cancer. I despise country music so much that I'd rather have blasted death metal over whiskey drinking anyway. Now, if there's one good thing about Froghopper, it's that I was able to get less rides on the best kiddie ride at Waldameer. Yeah, I said it. And also, yes, it was great meeting my youngest Breadfans and hyping them up, but Jeremiah needs to be extra careful before anything gets out of hand. Let's strive for an even lower ride count next season, and I won't have to mention it again. I didn't really go into the giant wave pool because, like Endless River, it's quite the damn disappointment. I was only in there for a special event, and even then, it's just nothing. But what was once the biggest expansion in park history turns into a forgettable lawn ornament every time I visit Waterworld? Are you serious? Cleveland making the center of attention again.
You are a factory of sadness!
Again, why do I even bother getting one ride on Happy Swing each year? The fine folks at Breezy Bee and Coaster Ant forced my soul onto this, and please, for sake, stop forcing me on this kiddie ride. There was better selections out there, even in the same area. Oh my god, I did it! Hot tubs are only used to end my visits or to warm up on colder days. Plain and simple, if you know the concept of one. Both hot tubs were open from time to time, and I still prefer the larger one near the wave pool. The green pool, aka the original one near Rally Racer, is the equivalent to Jacoby Brissett, a crappy backup. Now, if there's anything I like about hot tubs, it's a great way to relax my muscles and just take a breather from life. The giant one is better, though. Welcome back to the Great Locomotive Chase, Breadfans. The train was able to complete its branch line duties and then find where the diesel came and went. I was happy to get back on this train as it celebrated its 50th anniversary in 2022, and I was able to take the full sights and sounds and yinzers of Waldameer. No matter who drove it, it was always a pleasure, and getting that yearly backwards ride is that extra DLC that everyone loves. Also, 2 train operations returned for the first time since 2019, which was a pleasant surprise to see, and trust me, if you ever see 2 trains at Waldameer, you know it's busy. Next year, we will explore the other branch lines and have a close shave for Duck. I'm gonna keep this one short and simple so I don't waste time in this video. This ride and all of its antics. This is officially the worst ride at Waldameer, and all this you have to deal with it while riding is not to mention loose items flying into fans and backs breaking make this colossal waste of time, money, and space into this park. Go down like Cosmic Chaos is right now. Why did I ride this ride as much as I did? I'll never understand the fundamental basics of what caused this, but I'll keep it brief because fillers, you know what I mean. The annual Waldameer Derby was hosted during Season Pass Photo Day, and of course, Jonathan the Dragon had to be Tom Brady and cheat his way into winning. During the season, however, it was just a ride to ride when it was too busy in the park and needed a ride with no line. But the real fun of this ride came during the Pumpkin Walk. Yes, I got a rare October ride on a Waldameer ride legally.
This is illegal, you know.
It was a surreal moment, but being with the best co-workers ever during that ride made it even better. Ah, man, I am sad bones at this point. Bones, bones, bones. I'm sorry for triggering you, Bread fans, but I refuse to call this water slide Liquid Lightning now. Now, if you have noticed, I have reverted back to its original name of Midnight Plunge, and it's definitely a way cooler name than just journalism news writing. No offense to Penn West Cal U. Anyways, Midnight Plunge is the tube slide to ride if you just want to have fun like it's 1994 all over again. It's a great build-up that follows towards the best drop on any water slide at Waterworld, and I am not joking when I say that. It still rides well to this day almost 30 years later, and it's always one of my go-to water slides when visiting Waterworld. Pennsylvania's fastest Music Express has an interesting story to dive into. At the beginning of the season, it was just like any other season. A fast-moving ride with solid airtime and great laterals throughout, but by the season's end, something has changed, and I am not sure what to think about it at this point. By some weird adjustment, the ride isn't as excited as it once was in 2013. Remember when Waldameer said there were 3 modes for this ride? A, B, and C? Well, it felt like they switched to either B or C tier on this ride, and it doesn't feel like A tier. Even the Bread fans agree on this. That is depressing. If the ride does not get better in 2023, you will be backup duty. No offense to Jacoby Brissett. A Western Pennsylvania classic and Paratrooper is luckily here to stay. It's an average family ride, and I honestly don't have much to say about it. I got just as many rides this year like last year, and it's a mid-tier ride for me. Very cliche to say, but it's just there in the Waldameer lineup. And yes, I still enjoy it from time to time, but there's points where I think something better could be in its place. The ride is celebrating its 50th anniversary in 2023, so I do hope for some cosmetic improvements for that huge milestone. Perhaps some LED lights like a certain Irely ride got on its sign last season? What will you do with the drunken sailors? Beware the drunken sailors. We have defeated the robots and the pirates have taken over. This is Yinzer country. Okay, I went too far here. But the ride celebrated its 50th anniversary in 2022, along with El Roof Express, and it's what I expected. There wasn't much they added to celebrate, which was quite the disappointment, but the letters on the sign did get that neon orange repaint, and it looks better than ever. On the inside, it looks the same as before, and that's alright with me, as long as the ride does not get modernized, no offense to Dover Impulse elevators. The quest for Robot Pilot Island was a success, and the Yinzers were defeated. Now, onward to the... Alright, Bread fans, we have 2 options. We have to go through the... or the Battle of... your choice. But you know what? I'm just gonna go onward to the... I heard they are just as tough as... Back to Waterworld for a few slides, and ironically, Raging River is one of the best slides in the park. It is severely underrated, damn it! The wide flumes and graceful layout might not look impressive from the naked eye, no offense to Deshaun Watson, but this slide is the real deal. It pulls some great laterals and even some airtime on it. And the best part is indeed a single tube somehow going backwards. The physics on this is immaculate. Basically Big Kahuna on steroids, and it's literally the best tube slide in the park. No questions asked. Although the view in 2023 is going to be a lot more interesting than ever before, but Raging River is still one of the most underrated water slides I've ever ridden. Unfortunately, Rally Racer suffers a similar fate as Music Express. It's great at the beginning of the season, but by the end of it, it really suffers, and for its second full season of operation, it suffered a sophomore slump, much like Chaos did. My times got even slower than last year, and I have debated on retiring from the sliding speedrun game. Yes, that is a real thing, maybe I should make a video on it, that subject matter, but yes, I am thinking about retiring from speedrunning. What once was my favorite water slide at Waldameer just got downgraded to bronze medal status, and that's really a shame, because it was a pandemic pastime just a few years ago. For once, I am pissed at the water park, and I don't think that is changing anytime soon. Waterworld is in a weird place for rankings, I guess. All hail the best kiddie coaster in the land, Little Phantom! Oh yes, Ravine Flyer 3, the sequel of a coaster, but according to the employees, it is the best Ravine Flyer because it's pink and goes around twice. I was able to cool down my rides on this coaster to an easy 10 this season, and I have finally realized where this ranks. This is no longer the worst coaster at the park, it's ranked up to 4th now. As for the ride itself, it's basically all left turns twice around, like a NASCAR track, and for a coaster that's just as old as I am, it's holding up well, and I'm saying that the same for myself. How am I holding up almost 23 years later? Ravine Flyer 2 had such a historic season on this channel, it's impossible to list them all, and besides, that bullshit would take longer than the damn train videos of 2015. Allow me to show a short montage of the accomplishments and salt that was embraced on this ride this year.
God, please, no! No! No!
Wasn't that nice? I cannot wait for 2023. Shoutouts to my elite crew of Morgan, Jenna, Emma, Emily, Kirsten, Nicole, Grace, and Abby. The Sexy 7 for life. New for 2022? Absolute bullshit. Why do I say this? Well, it's because of that new single rider rule they established due to the Thunderbolt style forces. I'm sorry, what? This ride was just fine in 2021, and now 2022 says no thank you? Despite that, I was able to take advantage during the Season Pass photo weekend, and I never looked back since. 14 rides in 2 days, and then 4 more for the entire season is some bent over backwards entertainment, just like Showtime Theater. Now, for the love of God, please add seatbelts and eliminate the single rider rule for 2023, and I'll be a happy Bread fan for life. Hey, Captain Tim, my stomach feels aggravated after 6 rides on the discount ship. Well, at least it's better than those fairground ships I rode this year, so Sea Dragon is still king, or else it will end up in leg iron. The airtime in the back rows is still the best, and my bonus rides at the end of the season saw the full potential of this ride. Unfortunately, my fans couldn't say the same for this as well, because it was basically 2020 Sea Dragon in 2022. Good ride, just filler inside the park. We'll have to try again next year, how about that, Tim? Hello? Speak to me, goddammit! What once was a ride cut short of opportunities got its true sense of hope this season. The best part of the ride came towards the tail end of the season where I pocketed those magical earbuds from RF2 and blocked out the chaos of the park. Trust me, Blasting death metal to calm me down is another feeling of itself. Even outside of that, getting footage was another big key this season, as it gives possibly the best vantage points for cinematic exit montages. Look at Last Rift 2 or any other video with Skyride in it, you'll see the difference. It's went from just okay to a world-class ride in just one season, being one of the best rides in the park now, and it's helped me with so much things inside and outside. Thank you, and welcome back.
The time has come. Execute Order 66.
20 rides on the Factory of Sadness. 20 f***ing rides!
Yeah, touchdown! Yeah, touchdown! That's right! 27, you
As the Vice President has said before, I have achieved above average rides on Spider. There were times where I got some extremely good rides on it, and in my personal rankings, no offense to my friends at the park, my favorite Spider operator in 2022 is Cheyenne. And also for the fans, please restrain me from having another 5-ride marathon like I did after Last Rift 2. I am completely sober from that, and I will never, ever do that again. Please, for the love of God, take me away from this godforsaken ride, or else remove it! Welcome back to Discount Mega Vortex, where the 7 Seas are toughest with Zamperla's Undercenter. There's nothing much I can say with this ride other than it's just space in Waldameer's Lion. Why the hell do I bother talking about family rides anymore? Just be glad the bear mascots are back, because that's the real winner, especially Waldameer. I was glad to see them return back to the blue tent, and you know what? They're here for the long run. No more extended vacations. Go back on the ship. Laugh Track was one of those coasters that was just there at Hershey, but with Wildcat's Revenge coming next year, I have a reason to stay at the back of the park. Steel Dragon was what I expected this season. A good spinning coaster, but nothing too extreme sealed the deal for me. The lack of Car 1, aka Tornado Mode, was quite the buzzkill, but Car 8 was my prime meridian this year. Like Ravine Flyer 2, I was able to get a behind-the-scenes tour of the ride, exploring the infield of this beautiful parking lot coaster, and finally answering the question of what was under the station. Both were highlights from Flying High. As a bonus note, parking right next to a mower is one of the strangest feelings you can ever get as an enthusiast. I mean, going there, parking right there, and walking in, what is this, the turducken? The Iron Foundry finds another way through the thunderous rapids of Waldameer Park. Like, what the hell happened? These E-stops were Break Van 2.0. Now adding flavor with every ride, because Specs got to get stuck and not me. This was another ride where fans played a huge role, and yeah, sure, I got less rides, but these were more quality. This is still one of the best rides that Waldameer has to offer, but my only downside I have is that someone went on Planet Coaster and turned the ride into a Premier Rides launch coaster, which I'll say that will never happen. Even if I was owner of the park. At this point, just let me drink the water from the queue line. It would be so much better. I mean, let's try. I'm still holding up from what I said last year, and as much as I want Spire to be removed, I feel like the next ride to be removed from the park lineup is Tilt-A-Whirl. It didn't really do much to me this year, as I did ride better versions elsewhere. I gotta give a shout out to Midway State Park here. But in the grand scheme of things, this is just your average spinning ride that you ride whenever you don't feel like it. I didn't hate it or love it, but I don't see it lasting another 5 years at this park. At this point, just add an SBF ride there and call it a day. The other half of the mascot piece has been solved. In this next installment of the Waldameer Mystery Files, this is book 5 by the way, we find out why Zamperla works out so well at this park. Pardon me, teacups aren't my cup of tea. No offense to puns everywhere, but this ride did absolutely nothing this season. This and Balloon Race are some of the most pointless rides at the park. But however, like I said before, Wally and Wendy Bear coming back to the park is the greatest return of 2022. There's a lot I can go into with Wacky Shack, now being one of the top rides at the park. For the ride itself, it's your typical Bill Tracy goodness with good scares and a well-maintained atmosphere. I was able to beat the algorithm of the Lion this year, which is a plus, as it is a capacity nightmare. What wasn't a nightmare was that behind the scenes I did in May with Specs. I had to be thankful for my friends at Waldameer for allowing this opportunity, because they helped me have a better understanding and appreciation of the ride. Going in depth of how the ride works, the history of the stunts, and exploring the deep secrets were just some of the highlights. It was a bucket list item since the start of this channel, and it was exceeded. If only I was allowed to explore the attic of the ride, that would have completed the set. Maybe with your arms still attached.
No!
I'll be watching to see if you have behaved yourself. Sorry, SBF Visa. You are now the worst coaster at Waldameer. That's right, Whirlwind is the worst. You are much like the Cleveland Browns. Showing some bright moments, try too hard to become the best, choke, rinse, and repeat. Most of my rides this season were mediocre at the best, with a lack of spin, but when I did get a good ride with good spin, it wouldn't last long at all. It's been an internal battle within myself regarding this ride, and now after 2 full seasons of operation, much like Rally Racer, it was a sophomore slump. Or is that really the future of the ride? I can't wait for more new rides to be added during this 10-year expansion plan. Anything is better than an SBF Visa spinning coaster. When it comes to tube slides, Wild River is a more insane version of Big Kahuna. This thing is bat crazy, no offense to Ozzy Osbourne, and maybe if my high school physics grade was higher back then, I would say these slides walls feels illegal, you know. The pacing does get interrupted with each turn, but it's still a great water slide. The only regret I have with this is that I wish I got more rides on it. Good things happen when they are surprises. Like Raging River, the reviews are about to get more interesting next season, so stay tuned. The Try of the Trinado of Sadness thankfully got less rides than before, and for a good reason. Yes, I have mastered the spinning after the McDonald's pancakes incident of 2017. By the way, do not ever mention that to me. But it does not help that I still feel like shit afterwards. Much like Ravine Flyer 2, I was able to meet the Wipeout King himself, Eli, and I still can't comprehend how he can ride this ride over 15 times a day. He was a good motivator throughout my guests or cleaners, but the ride doesn't do much for me. The turbo time is better than Music Express, but twice as bad afterwards. Lambo Lambo in the Lake Erie. And to finally end off the ride counts from this season, did you know that X-Scream is the only other ride besides Ravine Flyer 2 to have over 100 rides this season? And rightfully so?
You know it's not much true.
This is the ultimate marathon ride because it almost never has a line, and even in the rare case it did, it wasn't as bad as other rides. You, Super Bowl 56, because one of my bets and endless talking caused me to ride it blindfolded for the 3rd goddamn year in a row. 2020 should have been the one and only time doing so. On a much brighter note, the views are some of the best views at any park, no matter if you're facing the lake or towards Erie. Your drop is still great as ever with fantastic airtime, but maybe this is the next major marathon in the Waldameer history I have.
Don't get eliminated!
This week on Days of Our Junkies, the roller coaster enthusiast seeks out the water world to find a water slide not being there. It's time to address the elephant in the room in this video. We haven't seen a major attraction close since Pirates Cove in 2020, but all in reality, I could care less. Presque Isle Plunge and Lake Erie Dip did not open for the 2022 season, and its future is uncertain at this point. While there was no public reason on its closure, the main rumor was something about the lines of water issues, because it is Cleaner's idea. Whatever it might be, I don't see this slide lasting much longer in favor of more expansion space. If 2022 was its last year, then my few final rides came in 2021. But if next season is the last breath, so be it. These rides opened in 1986 as the original water slides to Waterworld, and they are outdated. And these slides are among my least favorites in the water park, and I would never love to see some massive slides fill in its place, especially in the Tadpole area. Just like the future expansion of Waldameer, so is the Days of Our Junkies. Also this week, on Days of Our Junkies, the roller coaster enthusiast seeks out the water world in search of a new attraction for 2023. With the potential fall of 2 water slides, 1 massive slide was announced. The new unnamed water coaster will be the tallest and longest water slide of the water park, and be the only water coaster within a 200-mile radius. The fact that this water coaster will intertwine with other slides such as Raging River, Bermuda Triangle, and Cannonball, and nothing will be removed for it impresses me to no end. And the capacity will be great too, with 4-person rafts going down the slide. The layout features 3 big drops and 3 saucer turns with a length of 850 feet and a height of 60 feet tall, and the park has been very open about this being the best attraction in the water park. I never thought Waldameer would add a water coaster at all given their limited space and expansion plans, but I thought a slide with a wave would be the most logical thing. But Waldameer likes to surprise and excite the customers, so I guess no Pro Slide Tornado Wave at this moment. Can't wait to cover this new slide next season, and to the Breadfans out there, this is not a roller coaster, and it will not be counted as a new coaster credit. Just like the taking of Matt Canada, So is the days of our junkies. Overall, how do I pan out about the Waldameer 2022 season? In all honesty, this was the best season I ever had at my home park. With the amount of things I was able to accomplish inside and outside the midways, it was the best outcome I could ask for post-pandemic. From the vlogs I filmed, to the memories I made with my fans and workers, and everything in between, it was a historic season for me, and I thank everyone for joining the Riffening and being part of something special. The rides and slides I covered this year had its ups and downs, and there were definitely some sacrifices to make along the way, but this video explains the core part of what makes Waldameer a truly special place. How was your Waldameer season? Be sure to like, comment, and share, and subscribe, and we'll see you all in the parks very soon. We cannot wait for the 2023 season.